Hello. So I want to do an impromptu stream, which is why this isn't on a Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday. It's also why I'm not going to tweet about this or leave a long gap in starting up like I usually do. But I made affiliate on Thursday, and I am so excited about streaming now because of that. And since starting up again, it's only been going for like 2 or 3 weeks, or like a month if you count the break that I had in the middle there. Since starting up again, I felt really good about streaming. Oh, this music's quite loud actually. It's so loud. Okay, I turned it down a bit. Should be better now. This is the Destiny 1 soundtrack, by the way, which I am loving. But okay, so since starting up again, I felt really good about streaming, and I've based a lot of how I stream around what Matt Stauffer does. And so I haven't really ventured far out of the hour time frames. Sorry, just excuse, the kids are still awake. They're going to be awake for ages still. They had a really interesting day. Anyway, I've been basing a lot of my streaming stuff around what Matt does, and kind of just trying to get into a habit. And I feel like I'm just about there in terms of habits. It's working well for me. The hour sessions are working really well. I can jump around, work a little bit here and there, but for the most part, working on Git Store has been really fun. So I want to make this a little bit more serious. And a thing I've been avoiding since getting back is doing stream graphics, doing alerts, just generally polishing the stream. Seeing Adam stream the last few weeks where he's done a lot of polish on it has been quite inspiring as well. I don't know if I want to go as far into it as what Adam has done, because he's done a whole lot of conference stuff as well. But oh flip, I haven't even changed the title. hold on a second. Where would I do that again? I've started using Streamlabs instead of Restream because can't use Restream, but that kind of means I have to learn where all the stuff is again. So let me try and sort that out. Where would I do that? Settings. In here? No. Oh, maybe I can do that on the Stream Manager dashboard. I'll do that from here. Oh no. There. Okay, let me update this quickly. Working on stream graphics. That's what I'm doing today, is working on stream graphics. Oh, how do I save that? Where's the save button? Done. Okay, so that should be sorted out now. Sorry about that tiny interruption. Let me just get the events up again. Okay, so that's kind of what I want to do today, is work on stream graphics, work on just generally how things look and feel, maybe get to the alert styling if I get there. I've enabled a lot of stuff on Streamlabs, so it might be a bit of a mess. Who knows? We'll see. Okay. So where do we begin? I was experimenting with logo ideas yesterday. I am terrible, absolutely terrible at any form of graphical work or UI work. But I was trying to think of a way to represent just my name, like Assert Chris, for the stream graphics, and this is kind of the only sort of interesting idea that I had. But I'm not 100% sold on it. I think I need some wording. I don't know. This is just the first idea of it. However, this got me thinking about what I wanted to do with the general stream graphics, because at the moment it's just my face. Bottom right corner, chat should be the stream elements chat should be popping up just above where my face is. So like, let me put a message in chat and then you'll see what I mean. Here's an example. You might not even see it because of the white background. Okay, so there you can see a message there somewhere. There we go. That's really confusing to do. That's just the stock standard Stream Elements graphics for chat. And so I kind of want to position things around a little bit. Maybe have the camera sitting like somewhere over here. I have a plan for in like the next 6 months getting a green screen and proper lighting, so it doesn't look like I'm hiding in a dingy room, which I am at the moment. So I may be able to silhouette myself a little bit nicer than this and not have the background and not have it square. And so I was thinking maybe having like the camera over here and then having text and alerts and stuff sort of in this general area, or alerts maybe front and center, but then just having the chat pop up here. I was kind of in two minds as to whether to show the chat at all, but I think it's potentially useful if people ask sort of more in-depth questions. I don't have to read the question out beforehand, and my stream is not popular enough for that to be a problem, for me to even need moderators other than me. So that's kind of the thinking there. I had a look through some potential designs for this, and basically what it boils down to is that I'm going to need a background, and I'm going to need to frame this. So like, if I frame, well, that's aspect ratio. If I frame it something like this, then I can still get the majority of the screen in play, and I still want to keep it at this resolution. I like the 1440p resolution, but then at least my face doesn't cover everything essential, and the chat should not cover everything essential either. I can actually move this down and change its height, but if I change its height, then it's going to complain about an aspect ratio. But this is kind of the idea. So chat sort of in this general area, and video profile in this kind of area. Hey Ting, good to see you. I'm doing something totally not code related now. Unfortunately, if you were interested in code related stuff, I'm working on stream graphics. Woohoo! So this boils down to me needing a fairly dynamic but high res background, and I kind of like the video graphics that Adam has, except that I think they're maybe a bit too busy for my personal taste, for what I want for the stream. They work with his setup, and especially the conference stuff, they're great there, but I'm thinking of doing something that does animate, but animates very subtly. So I want to work on that thing. Actually, I lied. I am doing a code thing tonight. Just saying, excuse the baby noises. I want to try and do something. Perhaps I'll start it in a pen and then move it off into just a standalone page that I host somewhere that I can embed as a browser source. Or maybe I can do full screen of the preview without any UI in browser source. Maybe that'll work. So what I want to do is I want to have a series of, probably the best way that I can explain this first concept that I have in my mind is to do is that it resembles light rays underwater. If you're like underwater and you're looking towards the surface and light rays are shining through, it's probably like the closest that I want to do. And I want to have it fade from very gradually from a blue into a gray. But I don't want to do this with WebGL or shaders. I want to try and do it with CSS blur and dynamic color changing and width changing divs at a rotation. So that's the first thing that I'm going to try. So let me name this as canvas, just because even though it's not actually a canvas, it's going to be what I draw on. Canvas, position absolute, top 0, right 0, bottom 0. I don't know why I'm reading this all out, because you can see exactly what I'm typing, but anyway. And let's give this a background. Oh. I'm always fingering that equal sign. Okay, the color palette I want to use is from Tailwind, but for the sake of making this thing load as quickly as possible and work as quickly as possible, I'm actually going to hard code almost all of the styling. But I do want to get the color palettes that I'm interested in. So I was thinking if I could get like a decent sort of dark blue background, or maybe a dark blue into dark gray. What if I go something like this? Okay, so firstly, I remember very little of stock CSS, but I'll say, let me find an approach that works. I think Chrome is the browser that OBS uses browser source for. So, background gradient. Let me have a look for something that works. Okay, let me try this. Something that works nicely in Chrome. So a linear gradient that goes from sort of Tailwind 700 blue to Tailwind 700 gray. Let's try this. Hello? This is a browser thing where it's not... What? Why is this thing not styling? Div class canvas. Canvas. Oh, not background color. Cool. Okay. I think this is slightly too light. What's not the worst, I guess? I guess it's not the worst. I guess it's not the worst. Okay, let me see if I can remove the prefix there, because I don't really enjoy the prefix. Okay, then let's put another div in here. Div ray. Ooh. And I guess we'll just put something like that, and then dot ray. So we want to transition all here. And then we actually want to dynamically adjust this. Okay. So let's do document query. Ooh. Select all ray. Because we want to potentially have multiple rays over here for each. First, let's see what we get. But I'm fairly confident we will have the... What? Oh. Ooh, I should go back to chat there. I can actually run ad breaks. That's hilarious. Okay. I actually want to, yeah, let me open those up. Then I can at least see if there are any things. Okay, so it's finding that ray over there. So now I should say, let's do some constants. Ray width. Maybe like 50 const ray max width. This just lets me adjust these a little bit easier. Oh, okay, and then okay, set timeouts. Maybe we should have a separate function for this. Const animate ray, something like this, and then we can actually chuck this in here. Okay, and then at the end of this we set timeout to run animate ray again with math random times In fact, let's do this a little bit clearer. Every 20 seconds. What I want to do is every 20 seconds, oh, let's also round it. I want this to animate to a different thing. Okay. So animating sometime randomly within the next 20 seconds, it should animate again. I should probably do like 10 to 20 seconds so that it's never instantaneous, because there's a chance with this equation that it could be instantaneous, which I don't want to do. So maybe like every 10 to 20 seconds it should animate. So it'll never be faster than 10 seconds, but it'll also never be longer than 20. I don't know, whatever. Okay, so array.style.width is math round math random times that minus that. This is interesting. So again, go for the minimum plus some random value of what the maximum could be, so the difference between the two. Unfortunately, I need to... this should be getting each ray though. I'm not really sure why that's... I'm not really sure why that's complaining, to be honest. Div ray, div style width, array style width. Okay, let's just do this as position absolute left 50%, top 0, background white. Okay. So that's where that is. It's not changing width though, which is interesting. Maybe, okay, maybe here's what we do, is we set this, but that's, so that's going to animate it, right? We actually do want to set this once. We do want to set this once. Okay, so there's that we can call. We can call it here. Okay, let's call it here, and then let's say array style transition is all, and then set it again. Also, this should definitely be getting ray as an argument to that, so I'm not really sure why that's not working. Let me know if the music's too loud or gross, up to you. Okay, so by default, this should be getting array and setting its width. Undefined. Oh, okay. I see what the problem is. We need to pass this a second time. Okay, and I wasn't making that 10 seconds either. Oh, you know what else? Let's do that, and then let's make this a template string. Oh, doing this with good old JavaScript, hey? Okay, 66 pixels. That's not transitioning that properly. Bum 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 bum. Transform. Ah, it's transition. Ugh, flip, man. It's not transform. It's transition. I do have. I did say transition. Yes. So all what is this? Oh, that last one must be a delay then. Okay, if we preempt that delay there, then we can put that in here as MS. So that's how long the animation will take. And we should probably put this on the outside. So we need to set an initial width of the ray, and then we need to animate the ray. So we give it an initial width, and then we set its transition to the delay that we're expecting to do the next animation after, and then we set the width of the array. And so this should very slowly transition it. Is that too long? You know what, I should also put const ray transition min. Is this const ray transition max? Ooh. Should also do this kind of thing. So the min plus math random times the max minus the min. There's probably a more efficient way to write that equation, but for now I think it's fine. Okay, so get the width that it's supposed to be, animate or set the width. But inside this animation loop, we set its transition to the same amount of time as the transition can take until the next transition starts. That makes sense to me. So if we save that, it means we can tinker with this. So we can say like 3 and 6 is the max. And so now we'll see we should see quite a rapid thing. Maybe we have to change this to like 250. So that it's trying to do more of an animation. There we go. Okay. So let's get current width. Is ray.offset width, next width, delta width is next width minus current width, and then we also need to ray style transform is translate x. Oh, So if we save this, what I'm trying to do is get the light shaft to you know what we should actually do? Hey, let's change these to scale. Something like that, and then we give it a default width 100. And so this is transform scale. Now I need to use get attribute for this because there's no way that I know of to get its current scale well. But I can say get attribute x scale. I'll just call it data scale for now. Convert that to a number. Next scale is min scale, and then max scale over here, and we need to not round this because we're allowed to use those, and then delta, we'll just call it delta. I don't actually need the delta anymore, which means I don't need the current scale anymore, which means I can name this as scale. Right, I don't need the delta, that's the point. Okay, that's why I did this with transform, not with anymore. Okay. There we go. Do you see this now? Its origin is the center of this thing by default. So you see how its width is scaling from the center out. That's really good. That's super, super, super good. Let's say height 100 VH for 100 view. Weird. Maybe it's the console that's doing this for. Oh, I see. Okay, let's call it that, and let's say overflow hidden. Because if you do like, maybe you also need to do transform origin. Transform origin. So this is its x value, which is 50%, and its y value, which is 0. So now it should transform from the top down. That's my hope there. Okay. Okay, that's good. All right. So, linear gradient. It's actually I don't need a linear gradient. I need, what types have you got here? Radial. Radial from top. So what's that about? Circle? I don't think this is what I need. I don't think this is what I need. I think what I need is a linear gradient from top to bottom, just like I have here, right? Except I need a random color from the top and transparent from the bottom. Const ray colors. This should work. So let me get customizing. And I want all of these colors. Unfortunately, I have to put them all in here now from the other docs. Kind of sucks. That one, It's really weird not doing this in a code editor. Okay, I don't think I can go much darker than the background color that I already have, which is, let me do like one more. Okay, so the background color is the next one down. So I can't really go darker than that. Oh. But here I can say ray dot, ooh, maybe let's do const set ray background. Const color is kids in the background. Colors dot length, and then I should round this. No, math floor this. Okay, ray style background is that. Okay. So it's a linear gradient, but now we can put this color in. And this can be transparent. Woo, that noise. Okay. So we do that, and then we set ray background over here. And now we should have a random background animate as well. Only question is, where is it? Where is it? Oh, of course, I mustn't have that prefix in there, and I should probably take that semicolon out. There we go. Okay, it should also be 100 view height. Oh my sack, that does not work. Why does animating linear gradient not work? I could have just looked at the other tab that has this. Customizing values. Linear gradients. Okay. CSS. Linear gradient value. Important gradients are just a value of a background property. Not animatable. Okay. So you can create a new one. You can create a new ray. Okay. dummy.style.html or JavaScript clone elements. Let's see if I can clone it with its current styles. Clone node. Woo. Whoa. Dummy is actually item clone node. Let's try and do ray clone node ndn clone node. I want to see what that second argument is for. I didn't actually want to go to this. Okay, so if true, the node and its whole subtree, including text that may be child text nodes, is also copied. If false, only node will be cloned. So let's do false instead, because I don't want all of that stuff. But I will say dummy background color is red. So let's do that. Hello? Where's the node? Dummy.style. Dummy is ray clone node. Dummy style background color. I don't think that will do the trick though. So we don't have a background color on here. Background color orange. Okay, and then ray parent node append child dummy. Okay, so that's a red one that's appended after orange. Okay, so we do that, we do ray transition, we do dummy transition, and then we do dummy style opacity 0, and then we set its transition, and then we slowly do dummy style opacity is 1, ray style opacity is 0. So that should transition. That should transition from the one color to the other color. Although, I don't know. I guess not. Oh, you know what? It did actually... It's just created it immediately though. Dummy style opacity. Parent insert before new node reference node. Wow, that's really loud! Sorry about your ears. Why is this just overriding immediately? That's super weird. Hmm. What if we just go back to the linear thing? Could the easing function be messing with it? I don't think so. It's like it executes immediately. There it's supposed to execute over 4.8 seconds. What was that animation I saw? That was weird. It was like a scaling animation, wasn't it? Hey, you know what we should do here? Instead of this, we should animate dummy next. Let's call this next ray, because I prefer that much more to dummy. We can get rid of this stuff. We can animate next ray, and we can say ray remove, MDN remove node. Does this have to be called on? Child node remove. There we go. I think that'll work then. So if we do ray remove, animate ray, next ray. And then we can get rid of this horrible CSS that we're doing here. So what's the error here? Can't find variable dummy. So there's the red. Okay, well we can set background on next ray, right? Okay, let's set background on next ray. Yeah, but that doesn't do anything there. Set ray width, set ray background. It's like default this background color over here as well before the animation takes place. And let's check out what's happening in the elements. Super weird. So that's the previous one. That's the next one. It's like it changes its opacity immediately. There's opacity 1, 2 background colors. Never sets that opacity back to 0 again. Oh, that did it. Okay, so set ray, set ray widths. Let's do it like this. Let's say set ray widths, just the first one. And then this method we can call here set ray widths, this 1 and 2. Let's just say rays, and then for const ray of rays. Yeah. So now they're both of their widths should be setting. Yes. That's weird. Like it only animates. It only animates the top one. What's going on here? Next ray style transition. Oy, sorry about that noise. Okay. Set that as 0 from the beginning. And let's change these opacities like this. Yeah, that one's not born with a 0 opacity. I mean, this is consistent, which is cool. So JavaScript error I should know about, can't find variable ray. Set background. Is it still doing that error? Oh, there's a mosquito. Go away! Go away, mosquito! Oh! Excuse me. Didn't mean to knock the whole camera. Okay. Not really working out here. What if setting this again is actually messing with it? Because it should already have the transition value, right? You know what? That might not actually look like the worst thing. That might not actually look like the worst thing. That error might feed quite well into this. What if we just put the blue on top of that like I was planning to do? Why? Why is that blur so buggy? What? WebKit filter, WebKit transition. Should I be doing that? Is that even going to work? Okay. Because that stupid thing is on top of it. Why is it doing that? Okay. Let's backtrack. Let's backtrack. Let's not send the just a second. Okay. Baby chaos, hey? We do actually have to, you know what? We do actually have to set this background color. But we can change this transition. Where are we setting? Wait. Get this back. We do actually need this. Transition is just transform. That's all we want to do. Leave the opacity. Animate the background width. Okay. So we do need to set the background of the ray randomly. That's fine. Let's change this back to background width. Like that. That function is actually fine. Okay, but this shouldn't be 0. Okay, let's just change this back to 5 or something where it's less. So what I want to know is why that set ray width is still not found. Well, there it's animating now. I mean, it's too quick. Obviously, it's too quick, and also the scale with the height is a problem. Maybe we need to do this as like -10 view height. So that's interesting. That's not changing its color again. Maybe we need to have a few different ones of these in here, and we need to set ray left. Const set ray left. Scale min max. I need to change these variable names around so it's a little bit more consistent. Okay. Const ray left min. Okay, what should we say this is? Let's just give it as like a percentage. So we'll say like 30% const ray left max. I don't know. 6633. Let's just do something like that. Okay, and then we do like a similar thing to what we're doing here, except that instead of scale, it's left. So let's also set this here. Okay, this should actually be at a random position. Oh wait, I'm not actually setting it. I'm going to change this back because I don't like that it's the only one that handles these like this. Okay. Okay, and we need a few of these. Oof. No. Why? WebKit, CSS blur, hard lines. I think this is just doing the same. What are the colors you're picking? Hello? What are the colors you're picking? Arguably you don't need that as a string, but there you go. Why'd that break immediately? Okay, so this obviously needs to be a lot slower. I'll go back to 1020. And scale needs to be, the default size needs to be a lot smaller. So like 50 over here. And then min can probably be closer to 1585, just to spread them out a little bit more. Oof, and their blur needs to be more. I don't know about this, hey? I really don't know about this. Maybe we should pick a darker background color so that it doesn't go to gray as like a first thing to do. Like a much darker background color, I guess. I also don't like the fact that they're all like very white. There's almost no color variation on them. Like if we do blur 0, right? That was at 6, I'll remember that, or try to. And we do 0 view heights. So we can see some of them are like darker. Maybe what we need to do is like a later gradient. Oh, come on. Where are my gradients? Where are my gradients at? Tilted 45 degrees. Green at 40% of its length. Okay, better. Let's add our blur back in, 6 pixels. Let's make our max opacity a lot less, like 7. Why is that so homogeneous? Wow. That's still super high. It's better. Better, 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 better. Okay, I can get rid of this. Okay. I can also change their ray.style dot I can't really do that though. How do I set like one property of their transform? Ray angle is there you go. Ooh, I love it. So this should randomly pick an angle. That's too much. That is too much. Maybe I need to do this minus 25. So it's still 50% down. This should all be animating independently. Maybe we should have const array blur min is what? 3. Const array blur max is 6. Set object blur or set ray blur. Probably try and do this like this and put a pixel thing on this. And this is actually filter blur. And then we can do this inside. So let's do it over here. Blur. Oh. And the same down here. Why? Set ray blur. Set ray blur. Sounds a bit like a ray blue. Set ray blur. So this should animate their blur as well, make them a little bit like that. Doesn't animate, does it? I feel like we should set this min width even more. It's still doing weird things though. Let me change to full page. It still has this thing at the top here, but okay. Also, I'm not sure if I like the potential angle there. I'd say like 30. And then live view. And then we can set this as the background here. Browser. Two 560-1440. Okay. What? Sorry. It's being a bit intense. Hold on while I hope OBS hasn't just crashed, because that would suck a bit. Okay, I can close some of these tabs now. Wow, if the stream has just tanked, my apologies. Wow, OBS is not happy with this. There we go. Okay, is that animating? That's the question. I feel like that's maybe not animating. Wow, it is really making OBS struggle. It is really making OBS struggle. That is hilarious. Custom frame rate. Let's put this. Why do we put this up to 60 frames per second? Of course. I'm gonna drop the resolution by half though. I feel like I kind of have to, because this is making OBS struggle. Oh, my hat. Cool. I'm just watching OBS have a really hard time now. I feel like making this 60 frames a second firstly is pointless because the stream is capped at 30, but I might be able to up that a little bit. However, this this OBS delay thing is really an issue. Oh, come on, OBS! What's going wrong? You should see activity monitor. It's actually doing like 200% CPU usage just on OBS. I can't believe the stream hasn't crashed. Wow. Okay. Let me move like... just leave like 6 left. $1440 by 900. Okay. Why? That's weird. What's this resolution? 2560 over 1440. 1440 over 900. It's a slightly different one. What is that resolution? 140p res. Where's the width of that? You know what? I can just actually get the... I can actually just get the resolution from SwitchResX. 2560 by 1440p. Oh, 1280 by 720. That's actually what I need to do. 1280 by 720. Okay. So there are some rays. I don't think it's enough though. What if we say they all have to come from like 100, but max is like whatever? Something like that. And then we put like another 4 in here. Oof. OBS is going to have a hard time now. Is that animating? That's what I want to know. Jason, this is a background for my future streams. I'm trying something out. I'm just trying something out, but I'm not sure if it's going to be super successful. You see, every time I go back to OBS, it refreshes the web page. That is totally not what I want. How do I make it not refresh this at all? OBS, browser, source, don't refresh. I don't want this to reload though. I just want it to be static. Because every time I make OBS active again, it refreshes the thing. So I've clicked away, now I click back to OBS. Nothing. And it doesn't seem to be animating this stuff. Let me drag this down. Is it animating? I think it is. Oh, that's really cool. That's super cool. Wow, what is that speed like? I'm gonna do something super weird now, but I want to see what this, like how responsive this is. So let's mute. Mute. Okay, 720p. 1440. Oof, there's dithering on that. That's terrible though. Watch the little stream windows go. It's quite jarring. I don't know if I like it. I think I might have to do like a video background for this, which sucks. Okay. Here's where that goes, because it was obviously trying to, or going to kill my net connection. I think I'm actually going to have to do a video background for this. Okay. Oh, OBS. Really having struggles. Yes, remove the background. Liberate my CPU. CPU is liberated. Okay, look, that did not work as I expected, unfortunately. I'm probably going to have to use a video for this then. Video Hive is the place I usually go for some of this stuff. Oh, I'm so sad. That's... I'm so sad. See, this was like... lame. This was kind of the effect that I was going for. Only was completely done with CSS. Oh, I'm so sad. This won't work now. I wonder if I can slow this down a lot, because I think it's much too fast. I don't know. I don't know. That's slower. I don't even know if this is the right effect, to be honest. Maybe I should stick with my raise animation, but film a 1440p version of this. That initial rotation. Yeah, maybe I should take the variable blur out, so everything gets its random blur. And 20 rays. And they just change scale, which means length and opacity. Do they change opacity in here? No. I think their max opacity should be even less than what they are now. What it is now. I should do something like this. Full screen record. Record like a minute of it and then reverse that so that it loops nicely. And then you try and use that as a background, because I think that fidelity will be much higher. I just hope it doesn't dither. That's the only thing. It's a dithering. I really like this though. I don't know. I mean, it's probably terrible. You're welcome to say in chat that it's terrible, but I really like being able to achieve this. Probably looks terrible on through Twitch because of the bitrate. Maybe I can export this as like Apple ProRes, and then put the boxes, so like these boxes that I expect to have, over it, which will drop the video throughput in Twitch. Twitch won't be rendering like, I mean Twitch, I don't know if that even makes sense. I don't know if that even makes sense. If I do like new window and move this to a different desktop, I don't even know if I have, can I do the multi-desktops? So full screen that. How do I do this? F11? I don't know how to make this full screen. Window. Zoom? No. Into full screen. Wow, that is, but it still shows the stupid tab bar at the top. Right? Go like that, and then do a window capture instead. Oh. Do that, but then pick like Safari Ray background. Nope. Safari. Where's the other Safari? I have no idea where that other Safari is. Maybe it can only find it if it's on the screen. That's interesting. Let's close that one. Let's go back here. Background. Where can it not be minimized? Is this what you're telling me? OBS. OBS, where's that window? No. Oh, Slack. Oh, Twitch app. All these things that are opening. Safari Ray background live preview. Okay. Woo! Okay. Oh. The worst. This is the worst. Why is it doing this to me? Okay, let me make it a bit bigger. What if we slide it out of the... like that? Okay, how does that look? Does that animate it properly? Oh, it's blinking the whole time. Why is it blinking the whole time? Don't blink! Oh, okay. Obviously not gonna work. Okay, I must just make a 1080p video of that. I think that's really... do that and then try that out, I think. Wow. Anyway, I'm kind of bored of this topic. If you've been here and chatted, that's cool. Thank you for being here. But this was a highly experimental stream, and I'll try and do some more graphics related stuff the next day, so that on Tuesday, unless I goof around on a stream tomorrow again, but so that within the next day I can have this look a little bit more professional. Anyway, that's all for today, so I'm gonna go.